Hey, hey, hey. You know what day it is. It's Tuesday Tea with DA. Tuesday Tea with DA. Tuesday Tea with DA. Tuesday Tea with D. Tuesday Tea with DA. Tuesday Tea with DA. Tuesday Tea with DA. Tuesday Tea with D. Hey, hey, hey. It's your girl, Detra Trueheart, your life purpose generator, purpose provoker, and iSpeaklife mentor, here with another weekly dose of serving you some good old tea on this Tuesday Tea with D. And today's tea is, I think it's elderberry again. And I think that's because, as you can see, I'm not in my regular space. I'm traveling again. And so I think I only brought maybe 2 teas with me. And this happens to be the one that I'm drinking today. And you know it's good because it's always good because I make it good. What are you drinking today? Right? I know I can't hear you, but I am. I'm on a speaking assignment, and so while I'm here, I figured I would take some time to create this week's Tuesday Tea with D, which is called "Which One Are You Fighting For?" And this actually was based around a conversation and a couple of things that even I heard over this weekend while I was away at a women's conference as a speaker, but also attending. And I've shared this multiple times, but when we talk about which one are you fighting for, my question is are you fighting for your limitations or are you fighting for your dreams? A lot of times the decisions that we make, a lot of times the choices we make, really, when you look at the language, we are fighting for our limitations. And one of the things that I've just decided not to do is to help you fight for your limitations. I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon of advocating for you to fight for your excuses, to fight for your limitations, to hold on to them because you're technically afraid to launch out into the deep, which is really where God wants you to be. And so my question to you, because I can't answer that question for you, and I really can't be the one to do the work for you, is which one are you going to fight for? Are you going to continue to fight for your excuses? Are you going to continue to fight for your limitations? Are you going to continue to fight for lack and for all of the things that to some extent might really be fighting against you? And I'm not even saying that some of the stuff that you're dealing with is not real, but at some point you've got to decide that that's not going to be the deciding factor on how you move and what you do and how you pursue this life that you say you want to live. You've heard me say, and I think it was last week's video, use what you have, right? And so sometimes you got to stop talking about what you don't have and really look in the mirror and ask yourself, what actually do I do have right now that I can use that can get me one step further to where it is that I want to be, right? Am I going to continue talking about what I don't have? Am I going to continue talking about what I can't do? Am I going to continue talking about the skills that I have not yet acquired, as opposed to fighting for my focus is now not on my limitations. I'm fighting for my dreams, right? I'm fighting for purpose. I'm fighting for the plan of God on my life. I'm fighting for the purpose of God on my life. And sometimes, no, we don't have to fight for things. Sometimes it may come with grace and with ease, but sometimes, child, you got to get in the ring and fight for that thing. Sometimes you got to get in the ring with fear and tell fear that this is the last time you're going to rule and reign over the decisions that I make, the choices that I make, the people that I hang around, the places that I go, the things that I experience. I can no longer hang with fear. I can no longer hang with limitation. I can no longer hang with doubt. I can no longer hang with worry. I'm not advocating for my limitations anymore. Those are the things that you got to now start saying. Because sometimes we automatically go toward lack and what we don't have, as we say, the glass being half empty as opposed to the glass being half full, right? Or the opportunity to fill the glass to the full, right? And so what is your perspective? And so again, this is not a really long video. I just really want you to think about it. I want you to take some time and I want you to get your journal out. I'm really going to be asking you as your coach to spend some time with yourself and really looking at your language and ask yourself, do I spend more time fighting for my limitations, or have I been really spending time fighting for my dreams, my purpose, the plan of God for my life, the things that I desire? And if you find yourself in a space where you have been fighting for your limitations more than you have been fighting for the things that God has placed on your heart and the things that you really, really, really want to happen in your life, then it's time to make some changes. It's time to start speaking different. It's time to start doing some things different. It's time to start thinking different. It's time to start maybe hanging around some different people and having some different conversations. It might be time to get a coach by the name of Coach D. It may be even time to register for iSpeaklife Live. And so depending upon when you're watching this, iSpeaklife Live is coming up December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, 2022. And if you have not planned to join us, early bird tickets are now on sale. And so I would encourage you to get your ticket and get in the room, because this year's theme is chosen, but and people always, when they say it's like chosen but peculiar. You are chosen, but you are peculiar. You are not meant to blend in. You are a rarity. God created you differently. And so God has really been giving me some things to share that I'm going to be sharing at the event. And so if you're in a space where you have been finding yourself fighting more for your limitations and fighting more for the things that really are not working for you, then I want to invite you to join me at iSpeaklife Live in December of 2022. You are chosen, but you're peculiar. You are special to God. And so we're going to talk about that. But aside from that, just take some time to journal, and also take some time to figure out what it looks like in order for you to start changing that conversation, right? What's the opposite of it? The easiest thing is, what's the opposite of it? And so if you've been continuously saying what you can't do, let's talk about what you can do. If you've been continuously talking about what you don't have, let's talk about what you do have. If you've been continuously talking about the people who have left in your life, talk about the people who stayed. Let's shift this perspective. Let's shift the mindset. Let's shift the conversation. Because at some point, what you focus on is what follows, right? And so what you focus on is what leads. That's where you navigate to. And so if the only thing that you're focusing on is your limitations and your excuses around why you can't get it done, why this person did this, why you don't have the time, sometimes you got to make the time. Sometimes you got to make the time. There's some things that happen in your life where if somebody say, hey, you got 24 hours to get it done, there are some things that you have made happen. And so it's interesting to me how we will go out of our way to make things happen for others that we have not made time to make happen for ourselves. And so as you can see, there is an urgency in my voice because we are waiting for you. And so you can no longer make excuses. You can no longer operate according to your limitations. You can no longer operate according to your fears. You got to feel the fear, do it anyway. Move despite the fear. Yeah, you feel the fear, but the fear can't stop you from taking action. Don't let it freeze you. Don't let it stagnate you. Don't let it paralyze you. Take the next best step. So again, what are you fighting for? I'd love to know. I'd love for you to share in the comments below. What are you fighting for? What have you found yourself like, man, when I looked at this and I did the journal prompting and I did the journal writing, I found that I actually do sometimes fight more for my limitations than I do for the things that I really love and the things that I want to desire in my life, that I desire, that I want to experience in my life. I'll say it that way. And so make sure that you are following me here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can get the weekly doses of the tea. Make sure that you are sharing this with someone. Somebody else needs to hear this message today as it relates to what exactly it is that they're fighting for, right? And I'm not, and we spend lots of time fighting for other people, but this is a season where I need you to fight for you. This is a season where I need you, to come hell or high water, to be able to say that I'm going to put the same amount of energy into me as I put into everybody else. It's time, right? So again, yes, make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification button so that you know when videos are dropping every single week for the, Tuesday Tea with D. And also make sure you register for the early bird tickets for iSpeaklife Live coming up December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in Niagara Falls, New York. It's going to be a phenomenal time. And I believe that God is going to do something different this year because we are in person. And so I want to see your face in a place. I want to hug your neck. I want to meet you if I have not yet met you in person, because we've been virtual for the past 2 years. And then also invite somebody to come with you, right? And so don't let that be the reason why you don't come, but invite somebody to come with you and share in this experience, right? Because God really is doing a new thing. He's shifting. He's moving. He's shaking some things. And we want to be on the other side of the shift. We want to be on the other side of the shaking. We want to be in movement with where God is taking us. So I hope that you enjoyed this week's serving of tea for Tuesday Tea with D. Tuesday Tea with D. Tuesday tea with D. Hey, Tuesday tea with D. So you have an amazing day. You have an amazing week. And I will see you next week for another edition and another serving of Tuesday Tea with D. It's your girl, Detra Trueheart, your life purpose generator, purpose provoker, and I Speak Life mentor. I will see you soon.